stuff again? Oh, what's all these lines on my face? What is this? Shadows. Yeah, okay. Anyway. Alright, so here's another day of complaints. Another night. Oh, well, it's the night. Another night of the complaints. I'm trying to test out my car's turning ability. Steering problem I have. It's kind of bad. Okay, is it better now? Let's see. A little bit. Yes. Okay, now. It's now in the middle of the whole thing. It seems a lot better than it was. Let me tell you. It kept hardening when I was trying to turn it. Alright, so damn, I can't see nothing. Is this thing there? Alright, so yeah, so now the thing with okay, I'm talking about narcissists now. The thing with narcissists is that they have some kind of weird amnesia. Wow, can you see me? They have this weird amnesia. When they talk to you, there's no, it's unbelievable. You can't make deals with them, you can't cooperate with them, you can't communicate with them because the way that they are, they need to have control at every moment. Or they have to make sure you're in control in each passing moment. They have to be in control of something. It's so disgusting and sick. Like, normal people, obviously we don't function that way. And not the borderline either, because I am borderline and I don't have that issue where I need to be in control of everyone and every second. I think, if anything, I'm the opposite. But the narcissist will call you, have an hour-long conversation on what their intentions are and how they're going to work out this and that and what, their plans are. And then that's it. You never hear from, oh my God. And then you never hear from them again. And then you try to hold them accountable. Damn, they can't even be accountable to what they've said and what they said they wanted to do. How can they not know they have a mental illness or a problem? Nobody brings it to their attention. Like, hey, you just promised to do something or you arranged to do something today and you never went through with it. Because they didn't find the need to go through with it. It's just so bizarre and disgusting that they are even humans, that they're in the same species. Because human beings are supposed to communicate, meet each other's needs or whatever, and work together. Like, that's the whole point of being a community, a society, whatever, a group. But these people are like secluded in their minds, it seems like. They're sociable and outgoing, but yet they're not committed to anything at all. Any kind of conversation you have with them that day is just like it never even happened, or they don't need to be held accountable. They don't need to follow through. It's like, how do you keep a job? Wow, it's mind-blowing. How do you do anything if you think that you have to control everything in every moment and every person? How do you get away with this your whole life? It's so bizarre. Oh man, it's like, and if you share kids with these people, man, I know exactly what you're going through. It's like a living hell, Twilight Zone type thing. You're trying to communicate with a person that should be easy enough to communicate with another person, The least you can do is communicate and follow through with things that you're agreeing to. No one's forcing you even to do them. You offer on your own. And then you're like, the other person's waiting on the thing to happen, or you put your part into it, and it's like, where's the other person? They're just gone. They disappeared. They never showed up, or whatever the case may be. And this is the worst part about being with a narcissist, or having to co-parent with them, or work with them. Oh my God, working with them, forget about it. You're going to end up doing all the work, because they'll say, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. Yep, I'm on top of that. Yep, I'm on top of this. And then somehow they just don't do it. They get away with not doing it, or, someone else does it for them. I don't know. I don't know who taught them this shit. But there's so many bad, negative shit about these people, negative traits that they have. It is mind-blowing to go through them in my head and realize, hey, I got a co-parent or whatever with this person, and I'm not going to be able to get through to them. It's going to be like talking to air and wasting my time. I don't know what to do, because the courts don't care about it, because while he's in the courtroom, he's making sure he's in charge of that situation in the moment, because he has to be in control, right? So he's in control every time we're in the courtroom or whatever. And then the obligations, let's say the parenting time, whatever arrangement, he has to be accountable for his part, and I have to be accountable for my part. You think he's accountable for his part? No. And what does that leave me? Where does that leave me? That leaves me at the biggest disadvantage, because I cannot explain to this court and judge. It is almost impossible. They don't want to hear it, or they close their ears to these type of people. That I'm trying to say that this person will not follow through, will not cooperate, will renege on all responsibilities. And then they're just like, don't make any excuses. You have to show you're cooperating. And yes, I am. So I cooperate. But I know for a fact he will not follow through with any orders put in that courtroom. And it's going to put me at the disadvantage, not him, because he's the one that has my kids. So he could just go ahead and make stories up that I don't want to see them, or, oh my God, why hasn't she came to see them? Well, I live 10 hours away. I'm not allowed to have them back in my custody. Because of the distance. That's really what all it is. Because they've been there more than 6 months. It's not because of any other reasons that would make sense or be reasonable. But okay, so where does that leave me? That leaves me still doing everything and going crazy, because I could just forget about everything and go on my own life and not deal with this person ever again, which I wish I could fucking do, because this person never learns and never grew as a person. The whole time I was with him, I'm thinking he's gonna understand where I'm coming from and grow as a person and figure out how to fix the right. None of that happened. It was such a waste of my time and my youth and maturity of my own. It was such a waste. It's so, I don't know. I'm so infuriated by this. And then the courtroom doesn't understand that he's not going to go through with any agreements, no matter what the agreement is. It's like his brain cannot function the correct way. They're so lazy in their heads that they can't even fucking follow through with any kind of arrangements, or even the ones that they thought of themselves, that he wanted himself on his own, wanted it. The arrangement he came up with, he's not going to follow through with. And where does that leave me? Again, I have to go run to the court and file motions to demand that he does what the agreement states the agreement is that he has to do. And is he going to do it? I don't know. No, because he will never, ever follow through with anything. This is the worst part of all, dealing with this kind of person. The worst, because you can never be a human with them. They are fucking alien fucking life forms, because they are like, or they're retarded. Are they retarded? Maybe they're mentally retarded, and that's really what this is. That they are disabled in their heads, because only a fucking person that's retarded, no offense to anybody who has a disability, but that word is, I mean it when I'm describing these people. Only person that, you have to be retarded if you're 40 years old and you can't even follow through with simple instructions and simple arrangements that you put in place. I didn't even pick the arrangement because I know how he is. Because if I pick something, he won't follow through with it either. And it'll make it harder for me, and he'll keep attacking me. So this is how you deal with life? No. I'm always the one having to do something about everything. And it's like, okay, so he's not gonna follow through with any of the arrangements that he made himself. I have to go to court in another state to demand these things to be done, and he still won't do it because of his mental illness. Unless somebody is arresting him and putting him in jail, he's not going to do anything at all for anybody, not even himself, not even in his own best interests. This is why these people are truly mentally disabled, mentally ill. This is no joke. This is not a personality flaw, okay? This is not being narcissistic or vain. This is not the same thing. And it's so important that people know that these people are causing havoc in our societies and destroying people just because they can't be human beings and relate to other human beings and act their age or anything. And I'm just like, I've been a year now trying to see my kids, trying to get my kids back, trying to cooperate and come to arrangements with this guy, and I keep forgetting that he's not like me, or he's not like a normal person or a decent person where he's gonna follow through with arrangements and whatever. So I have to drive 10 hours on my own. I'm so upset. I'm too upset, really. I shouldn't be driving. Sorry, guys. Because I was trying to work this out with him as a grown adult, even though he put me through a lot of hardship and money problems and inconvenience and embarrassment. And more abuse through the justice system with the way that they carry on with their attitudes. So he can go ahead and say to my kids, I don't know why your mother's not, I don't know why she's not here. I don't know. She could have just showed up anytime. It's so easy to drive 10 hours back by yourself in the middle of winter. And it's snowing over there. It's in the Midwest, I'm in New Jersey. We don't snow much here. I mean, we get blizzards and things, but we don't have, a constant snow. Well, like in the Midwest, I heard is really bad. Like, that's most of their months there. During the year, it snows. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. No. I don't have a car that's equipped for that kind of a environment. I don't know. I mean, I don't have a problem driving there in spring, summer, anything, but winter is a bad time for that. To do that on my own in case I get a flat tire or something. I don't know. I have to think ahead. I'm a person that thinks. And these people, they don't think they do. And for the most part, they do when they need to gain control over somebody else. These people are just running around free. And he's been to jail before, and they're not able to keep him in jail. They just let him out. Like here you go. Here, we're going to put you in jail for a month, and then we'll let you go. And that's that. Okay, don't do it again. That doesn't work like that. These aren't normal people that made mistakes. Okay? You know? I mean, if I go in jail for something, I'm not doing that again. I learned my lesson, okay? I know myself. Because I've gotten in trouble before. You know, I'm not a saint. And when I got in trouble, I paid for it. You know, whatever it was that I had to do. Or pay money. Or, you know, I went to jail only one time. And that was because, that was one night I stayed in jail because I hit a parked car in a parking lot, in the school's parking lot. And I hit it when I was backing out. I couldn't see. It was in the dark. Like, not in the dark. My whole window in the back was tinted black. So, yeah. It's my fault. I know that. I took accountability. I paid the restitution for the damages to the car and everything. That was years ago. And that's the one time I got arrested. They arrested me because I wouldn't sign a paper. Because I'm trying to read the paper before I sign it. And the cop got agitated with me. And the way I am, I will tell authority figures, wait, let me read this. Hold on a second. Like, I don't just, you know, go along with everything and anything that they say. You know, I know my rights too. So, the guy got agitated with me, and he arrested me, really for no good reason. That wasn't necessary, you know. It wasn't a crime where I would have gotten arrested for it, you know. But yeah, never mind. That's not a good memory to think about that. Before I turned 30, I went to jail. Like, anyway, oh my God. Yeah, but the point is, I learned from my mistakes, right? This is normal. This is normal brain behavior. But for narcissists, no. That doesn't work like that. They will go to jail continuously for the same crimes over and over and over, get out, over and over, get out, forever, because they never learn. This is serious. Like, this is a severe cognitive distorted mind. Like, this is like more in the I see them as the disabled people, mentally disabled. I think they should be considered mentally disabled. For the most part. Maybe not the higher. I mean, there's some higher functioning ones. So, you know, depends. But, like H.G. Tudor says, the lesser narcissists. I think the lesser narcissists are retarded, honestly. Mentally retarded. They have to be. You know, they have low cognitive function. Why is that so hard to say together? I don't know. Alright, so anyway. So yeah. So the courts are like, okay, this is the arrangement. I'm laughing in my head thinking, no, he's not going to follow this. But okay, you're not talking to an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like, this motherfucker's going to look at it and throw it out or something out the window. Or use it as scrap paper. I don't know. But he ain't going to do shit about it if it has nothing to pertain to him. You know, because it has to do with me seeing my kids and having rights. And that's not going to happen. So I'm in a big trouble now. I can think ahead of what's going to happen. And then he calls me yesterday, crying on the phone. Like, you're not crying about me or anything that has to do with me. What are you crying about? And I'm thinking to myself, like, hey, what is your problem? Like, I don't say it like that. And I'll be like, what's wrong? And then he's like, yeah, you know, you're right. That I wish I did have a mother in my life or something. I'm like, wow, okay, here comes a sob story time. I haven't heard this in years where he broke down, because in the long time that I've been with him, there's only a few times where he actually broke down to the level where, you know, there might be some show of vulnerability and tears, you know. But, and the last time he did that, He took my kids, and then he was crying, and then he left. And then he's just so unstable. Because he's crying, but then there's no explanation of what the hell is going on, and then he stops crying automatically. It's such a weird thing. It's not like he goes on crying spells. It's like he cries for like 1 minute, and then it stops. Like it never happened. Okay. So he's like, yeah, you're right. I never had a mother or something. I know that. I know why he's the way he is. Because I told him that once. I said, it's because you didn't have your mother and your father took you away from your mother when you were very young. There's a big problem with that. I think you are suffering from that. And, one time I told him. And he says, you're right. And then he started crying for a minute and then stopped. It's the same thing that he did that time. And I'm just like, he said the exact same words, too. So I was like, what's going on here? Is he like, collapsing or something? I don't know. I think because this doesn't happen very often at all. Maybe 2 times before. And this is many years. I've been with him, almost 20 years that I've seen him cry at all. But when we did go see his sister at times, we spend the weekend or whatever with her, he would cry at the very end when he was leaving, and I thought that was normal. I'm like, well, he feels very sad about his sister and not wanting to leave his sister, but I don't know what that really was about. What is that all about? Now I'm looking into about when narcissists cry, because it's very rare that my narcissist that even cries at all. So he did that on the phone, and I'm like, okay. Then he was talking about, oh, well, you could come over here, and, well, the kids miss you. And I'm thinking, well, I know that. And I'm not the one trying to prevent myself from seeing my kids. You're the one doing this. But they have in their mind the story that they believe. So I'm the bad one again. Like, I'm doing something against everybody. This is why they're dangerous, because they're so paranoid. They think you're doing something to them. The more they hurt you, the more they think you're doing something to them. I guess a guilty conscience or what? I don't know. But anyway, so he's like, oh yeah, I can help you move. Just tell me when to come. I could get your stuff. I could pick it up anytime. And I'm just like, yeah, sure. Because the next day he'll just deny he said it or not answer the phone. It's like in a wrap. There's no cooperation with these people. If you're really dealing with a narcissist like I am, I know from my experience of what I deal with, this guy is severely on the spectrum, high up there. He has to be malignant, man. He must be on the malignant end. Because this is terrible. This gets worse and worse as the years go on. And no shame and to what he caused me with the lawyer. I gotta pay over a couple $1,000s. I have no money. I did not have the money to spend on a lawyer. That money was for my moving expenses. That the time's about to run up.